Wow. So I woke up this morning to several messages or comments on videos that I've made about President Trump and his policies and everything. And they were nasty. And look, that's fine. You can go at me and make fun of my age. And, I've already been called an old lady. I'm 64 years old. So if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you because we all either get older or we die. So there's that. And, I think I'm doing okay for my age. So that's one thing that I'll just say in retaliation. But the thing about it is, I'm going to keep saying what I'm saying, whether you make comments to me over, on my channel or not. I'm still going to keep making these videos because this is how I feel. This is what I think. This is what I believe, that we're in trouble as a country. And you don't have to listen to me. We're going to listen to some people who are way smarter than I am. And I'm sure probably more educated as well. Let's watch this.
Do you know what proportion of Americans want to have Project 2025 put in place?
I would imagine a very small amount if they truly understand what it will do.
4%. 4% of Americans actually want this to happen. And you can see around the country enormous numbers of people turning out to say, hey, wait a minute. I wanted U.S. aid to survive. I cared about the National Institute of Health. I wanted public institutions of education. I wanted the Department of Education. I wanted to have a National Weather Service. You're seeing people say this is not what we wanted.
Having said that, Heather, why is Trump's approval rating still at 47% then?
One of the ways to explain it is the idea that he has developed this personality cult around himself.
She calls it a personality cult. Now, what I was saying earlier is that I'm going to speak out against Trump. I'm going to speak out against things that he's doing that make no sense. And also, we don't even hear about the breach of security by having Signal broadcast chat room, like these guys chatting, texting about war plans in the middle of this battle, right? So, again, I don't care if y'all come in here and say stuff. I'm going to still cover this until y'all get it. And they're talking here, a personality cult. Listen, keep going.
But I think more interesting in this moment for us is, why do people still, as you say, support him when they don't support what he's doing? And my answer to that would be, we know now that the radical right has built its own information bubble. And that information bubble simply doesn't tell people what's happening out there. So here's an example for you. If you were paying attention last weekend, you knew that we had terrible, terrible storms across this country that
she's about to tell the story about Arkansas, where, if you can't tell by my language here, you can't tell by my accent here, I am in Arkansas, been here my whole life. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out on X this weekend and said that she had contacted President Trump for help with the tornado damage, and he said, okay. And I said, what about if that had been a Democratic president and not a friend of Trump's, because they're friends? Listen to this.
That killed at least 40 people and devastated huge swaths of Missouri and Arkansas, straight across the country under the East Coast. And I was looking at that and I thought, I wonder what the president did about that. Because again, if you were following his social media posts, as I do, he was talking about how he had won the golf championship at his golf club in West Palm Beach. So I started looking around about it and ended up on the Fox News channel. And what they said on the Fox News channel was that Trump had called out the National Guard in Arkansas in order to deal with the crisis there. And there was all this cheerleading for, finally, we have a president who'll do something for us, and so on and so forth. Well, the National Guard is mobilized by the governor of a state. What happened was that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is the actual governor of Arkansas, is the one who called out the National Guard. But if you were reading the Fox News channel, what you saw was Trump did it and Biden had never done anything like that. And I think this is the real thing that we're having to grapple with in this country at this moment, is that an awful lot of Americans are not just uninformed, they are misinformed about what is actually happening.
I don't know if anybody saw a while back, I did a video about Fox News, and it was a short, and I just said, don't rely on Fox News as your only news source. And that's what she's saying. That's the problem, because Fox News, like, they're making this like, oh, look what Trump did, but he didn't do it. Sarah did it, and I don't like her either. So,
it's not like it was a fight between a Democrat and a Republican. Quite literally, Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a Republican governor of Arkansas, and yet she got virtually no credit for having called out the National Guard. Instead, Trump did, and I could not find, I won't say that he didn't do anything, because I suppose maybe he did and I couldn't find it. Didn't matter, because according to the right-wing media, he had been right there right away to take care of the problem, at least in Arkansas. Although, again, that was the governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Friends.
Do you know what proportion of Americans?
And okay, so Trump is friends with Sarah, right? They're friends. She was his press secretary. She was the one that went on camera all the time and told a lot of lies. And he helped her get elected. And so, he's going to do it for her. But I don't know what would happen if a governor, look at the governor of California, because Trump can't stand him. He probably wouldn't even help. In fact, he would blame him for the storms, right? Or the fires, or the whatever it was. So, look, come on. Y'all will all get it eventually. You'll all get it. If the tariffs don't do it, if the bad lack of security by our highest officials doesn't do it, if January 6th didn't do it, I don't know what'll turn you against Trump, especially as long as you're listening to the cult type verbiage that you get on Fox News, right? Fox News, they might as well have Trump sitting up there with them all day long. It's newsworthy when they say anything not 100 and 110% in favor of Trump, right? So, look, make up your own mind. You don't have to like me, but that's not going to take away what I'm saying or what I believe, because Trump is a problem. And you need to get that in your mind. And if you want to come over here and play all night and make rude comments to me on my channel, that's fine. That's just interaction for my channel, and it helps it to grow. So keep doing it and keep battling and fighting for your man Trump, because he's a loser, and you'll see soon enough. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.